everybody. Welcome to, do we still call it Tuesdays in the shop?
We
I forgot.
do, even though we don't technically have a shop.
I'm Jen, and this is Andrea.
I'm Andrea.
We're here today to talk about a new fabric line that we've got in the shop called Ink Perfect by Art Gallery Fabrics.
Ink Perfect Indigo Edition.
Ah, okay. Yeah, this is why I'm usually just backup. So we got it in, and I was in the shop lurking about and folding stuff, and I saw it, and I was so excited. It's so pretty. And Andrea,
I thought you would be.
But it looks like little sashiko things. Unfortunately, I think it's a little too small. It's too small for my hand stitching. So we had to go with some other ideas. And if you watched last week, we did a foundation paper piecing tutorial. We have this economy block pattern, which is available for free on the website. And it even has instructions on how big to pre-cut your pieces so that you can be frugal with your fabric. And then you can make beautiful blocks like these ones. See, the camera is backwards from what I expect it to be. So I made
it's hard to...
Yeah, but you can go on our Facebook channel and find that lesson from last week if you haven't gotten it. And then Andrea did something very exciting with it today. Do you want to talk
I was inspired by your blocks from last week, and several people commented on the fabrics. It was kind of like getting a little sneak peek using them last week. So we wanted to, give them to you again so we can give them their proper due. But we loved these too. I'm going to try to hold up all the prints. I'm not sure I can, but almost.
Ooh, nice job.
So you can see it's just a range of from white to dark blue. And some of them are just gorgeous. This was one of the ones that Jen was using last week that a couple of people commented on. This one might be my favorite. It's hard to choose, to be honest. I really love these.
That one or this one?
Yeah, it's hard to choose. And then there's some really simple ones too. Like this is kind of a dustier blue with just these little, they kind of look like cross stitches. So you can, that's something you can use with anything, but it looks really good with all these other blues too. So yes, as Jen was saying, the economy block that she used last week looked really good in these fabrics. So we thought we would, and Sandra mentioned some of these were in the April stash. When I was looking for fabrics, the April stash, the theme was Delft, like Delft tile, which is blues and whites, pottery, generally tile, things like that. And as I was looking for those, I saw some of these. This was one of the ones that was in the April Stash Society. And it was perfect for that, but the collection itself was so nice that I had to get it for that too. So you guys in Stash Society got it like as soon as it came out. So you guys are like almost ahead of the curve, but and then we kind of sat on it for a little bit because we had so many other fabric collections that came in at the same time. So now we're ready to, like I said, give it its due. The economy block that Jen did, I guess, expanded on that and designed a quilt using these economy blocks that if Yvette could put up on the screen, we can show you. And she is behind the scenes today. She is with us, but she's behind the scenes. So this is the Indiglow quilt kit. It's all economy blocks. That's all it is. So 6-inch economy blocks, very basic. There is a way to make this block without foundation paper piecing, actually, but you wouldn't necessarily get all your points perfect and that kind of thing. And the instructions for this pattern will be written for foundation paper piecing. It's a great way, if you are doing our Zoo Family Block of the Month in July, this would be a great way to get some practice doing foundation paper piecing on something relatively simple. But we thought of Glow when we looked at it. It really just kind of looks like it's glowing. And if you notice, the full quilt is basically a giant economy block. There's a square in the middle, and then
Oh my
the
goodness.
triangles in the corner. So it was inspired by the block that it's made of. So it's like a double, double something. I don't know. But yeah, but it came out. We thought it came out really, really nice, and you can't go wrong with blue and white. It's a classic combination, but it can also be modern and fresh and new. And I think these prints specifically are more modern. There's no florals in here. It's something fresh. And so I think this quilt, while you could consider it traditional, I mean, it's traditionally pieced, it's traditional colors, but I think it still looks pretty modern. So it has that kind of versatility. So yeah, so we have the quilt kit. We have a backing option that you can that's an option to purchase along with the kit. We also have bundles. So all 10, there's 10 fabrics here, all 10 prints available in fat quarters, half yards, and full yards, just like we always do. And again, this is called the Ink Perfect collection, Indigo edition. They are actually coming out with other editions later. So this is the Indigo edition. And it's just really like whether you use the prints all together or individually, you could really fit these prints in just about anywhere. They're really usable, really pretty, and just kind of, just interesting.
I really like that pattern, the way you have it. It's very meta.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
I don't know the other words.
I don't either. But yeah, ones like this ring print, which I don't remember the name of off the top of my head, but it kind of looks like not Sashiko. What's the other one? Shibori. Yes. So it's got kind of Shibori vibe going on. And then, of course, the ones we just showed you a little bit ago that these are named Sashiko.
Yeah.
And it looks like little stitches. And when Jen first saw these, her instinct was to stitch on top of them. But she's right. They are pretty tiny. So
it's pretty small.
It is pretty small. It would look really cool. I do think it would look really cool.
Make it a wide back, and then we could hand quilt it.
Oh, that would look cool.
Yeah.
But some of these other ones you could probably. Ooh, this one could be cool to do some hand stitching on, either along the lines or in the triangles between the lines.
Yeah.
Or this one
with the scribbles.
Yeah, me too.
I really like that one, and I think you could do some interesting quilting inspired by that too.
Mm-hmm. I think you could draw in some of these diamonds, or stitch in some of these diamonds, or quilt with the ooh, that would be really pretty. The diamond pattern in your quilting.
Yeah.
Or the clamshells. You could actually, these are kind of tiny too to do stitches, but they're actually little X's in the scallops, and you could stitch over the X's. That could be. That's not too tiny. You could do that.
It's pretty small, but I wouldn't hate going over like 4 of them and making a big X. Like I think that would look nice too.
Yeah.
Yeah. I had thought, well, I did my job. I didn't have to do any more. Now I'm going to have to make that quilt. I already have 2 blocks done.
Yeah, that's right. There you go.
I was noticing today, like I hadn't really looked at it closely, but like half the dots are really straight and half of them are like squiggle. So I really like that. Like the more I look at these fabrics, the deeper you can go into them and see more design in them. It's really interesting.
Yeah, I think that's true. You get the overall pattern at first glance, but then when you look a little closer, you start to see more things.
Yeah. Yeah, they're not boring at all.
No, exactly. You think, they're all blue and white. That could be boring, but I think in this case they've done a really good job. It's not boring at all.
Right. Right. And I've been burning for a blue and white quilt.
Yeah, they're just classic. You can't go wrong. Does anyone have any questions about any of these fabrics or the new quilt kit, um, or the economy block? Um, so I think Yvette has a link that she'll put up for the pattern. So this is going also we're going to release as a free pattern as well, the Indiglo quilt pattern. So there will be a kit available as well as a pattern. The pattern will be free. It's not quite ready yet, so you can sign up. You can scan this QR code to sign up, and you'll get an email when the pattern is available next day or two, probably. Um, as usual, I tend to do my best work at the last minute. So this didn't exist before today. Uh, and so I haven't quite finished the pattern.
We all do our best work here last minute.
Yeah. They're lovely and have a nice hand. They do. So these are all art gallery fabrics, which I'm not sure if I mentioned, but art gallery does, I don't know what they do, if they brush it or what, but it is, I think it's poplin instead of
they said
something
it's
else. But it does. It just has this really nice hand. It's crisp, but it's also really soft too. Like
silky,
you can tell the difference between art gallery fabrics and other manufacturers usually just by feeling it. So yeah, these have that really nice hand that the art gallery prints do.
I thought it was interesting when so we have some of them in the Kandinsky or the Quota quilt. Mm-hmm. And when I was doing some of my hand quilting stitches, I was a little worried that these would be hard to stitch through, and it was fine. Even though they feel like they're really tight, they needled really well. So, and that's always like my hesitation whenever I pick anything that's not, a yarn dye, is like, oh, is it, if I want to hand quilt this, is it going to be hard? And this was fine. I liked it.
Yeah, sometimes it is hard to push that needle through, but that's good to hear. I know I don't think they're actually a tighter weave, but they might be, honestly. And I know we talked about this when we were launching or when we were announcing that we were carrying all of the art gallery solids. And our art gallery fabric rep was actually watching and commenting at the same time, but I should have written down what she said. I didn't think about it at the time. So I'll ask her. I'll make sure to find out and ask her so that I can be official and actually know what I'm talking about.
Yeah, I almost feel like their threads are finer. Like that's part of it. So, but they're really nice, and they mix well with other cottons. So, like if you're looking at this and you have a stash of indigo fabrics, they will blend beautifully. You don't have to worry about the different weights or anything like that.
Yes. And there's so many shades of blue in this that I don't think you have to worry so much about the colors not matching either.
Right.
They're going to go with other blue and white fabrics for sure. And those of you that are in Stash Society, I'm just going to do my little plug for Stash Society for just a second because I love it. The people that are in Stash Society, so they got several of these prints in April. There was also a free pattern included with that. They inspired me. These blue and white quilts just inspired me. So I've actually designed 2 quilts using these fabrics. The other one is for Stash Society people. They get a little sneak, a little something special. But it's the concept of Stash Society. It's a monthly subscription, and the themes are announced in advance, but you don't know what you're actually going to get. So, for example, April was Delft. There's an image that you can see that shows you, it gives you a general idea of what you're going to get. And then I scour the interwebs for all of the fabrics that fit that definition. And I really, make it a point to make sure that they're going to go together, that they look like the picture, they at least show aspects that the picture. So in this case, geometric, like tile, obviously blue and white. Last May was actually desert. So for that, it's there was some geometric as well. That one was very color based too. They're all color based. But the designs itself were kind of small scale and scattered, kind of like sand in a desert or that sort of thing. So I try to encompass the feeling as well as the colors. Next month is sea glass, and that's going to be a good one because aqua is one of my favorite colors. So we have a lot of aqua already. That's an easy one for me. So that will be the next month is sea glass, and we have a print subscription, a solid subscription, and a blender subscription. So the prints and the solids use the same image, and then the blenders use a different image, but it still coordinates with the prints and the solids so that you could actually use all of them together. And we have a couple of people that do order all three, and you can choose fat quarters or half yards. And every month you'll get a little surprise in the mail, which is really fun. And I'm going to try to sneak more goodies in too, like free patterns. They've gotten free patterns a few times, but that'll be happening more often, hopefully. Yeah, so we're gonna sneak in some goodies. It'll always be a surprise though, so you never know what you're gonna get exactly. But I think Sandra, for one, I know she's been a subscriber since the beginning. Thank you. But she has said some very nice things about the fabrics, so I think she's liking them. And yeah, so if you have been thinking, I don't have enough fabric in my life, we have a solution for you. And they'll coordinate. You know that they're going to coordinate, so you don't have to worry about that. And then there is a special section on our website where if you want to get more of certain ones, you can go and purchase more. It comes with a little sheet that tells you, what everything is so that you know how to purchase more. But yeah, it's just, I've been having so much fun picking out the fabrics, and it's like a little challenge. It's kind of a game for me. And I want more people to subscribe so I can do more of it.
I thought they were fun. I subscribed for a little bit, but then I started doing too many samples. But I did. I make with mine. I made cloth napkins for my kitchen, and
That's a good idea.
They're great. And now every time I go down to I use them, it's like, oh, this is so fun. They're so pretty, and there's like a little bit of Andrea's personality in my kitchen.
Aw.
So, do you want to go through the fabrics one by one and show everybody?
Yeah, let's do that.
All right.
I've kind of done it sporadically, but
you should hold them up.
Oh, okay. I'll hold it and you talk.
Okay. So this one is the one that we were talking about. That's like a shibori print. The circles are about maybe 2 inches wide, about that.
Probably.
So it's a pretty good scale, but it would be. I think it'd be fun to cut up. I don't think I used that one in my other blocks yet.
I think it'll look really good cut up.
Yeah, I like that one a lot. Okay, next. Let's see.
Do the sashiko.
Yeah, the sashiko. Yeah, this one is really fun. I don't know. I might have to make my mom. My mom's a sashiko artist in the house. I might have to make her do a little bit more of it. And it's a really bright white. Yeah, it's hard when you get close to the camera. It grays out a little bit.
Yeah, I don't have the best lighting, unfortunately. But yes, it is a pure bright white.
Right, and it's just one color of blue in this print, which is interesting. So, because the other one, the one with the navy background, is lots of different colors in it.
There we go. Just trying to find where my light is shining. I guess I should have aimed it a little better. Oh, I can't turn it from here. All right, and then we'll do this one.
All right, so this one is the one with the stripes. So it's got stripes that are kind of interrupted with a little jiggle. And I think they're so cool. I really like them. Like those little diamonds. I do want to stitch on this one.
Yeah, this one would be cool. And even the diamonds, it's not a solid diamond. It's like a squiggle in the shape of a diamond.
They don't put the fabric name on the prints, do they?
No, they don't, which would be nice because the names of these are a little weird. Yeah, I couldn't tell you the names.
That's okay.
Normally, I'm really good at that, actually.
Yeah, I love their I love their things. Okay.
All right, now we'll do the little cross stitch one.
All right. Yes. So
Oh,
this is
Yvette
just
just helped us out. This one was Diamond Stream. That
very,
makes sense actually.
yeah.
That's not that weird. All right, now for the little cross stitches.
It occurred to me that this one would be really fun to use as a backing and then do what is the other quilting called that's not real quilting? The tacking?
Oh
No.
yeah, yep, yeah.
Like,
Just tack it where these X's are. I mean, that would be a lot of tacking, but you wouldn't have to do every single one.
yeah, you could just do like all the white ones or something. But yeah, I think that would be fun.
Yeah, that would be.
Tacking is not the word I was looking for, and I can't remember what it's called.
Well, it is sort of a bar tack.
Yeah.
I know that like
Tying. There we go. Yvette's typing it in frantically over and over.
I said tying.
God. I didn't
This
hear you.
one is called crossed grid.
Yeah.
Now for my favorite, this one I actually do know the name of. Whether I pronounce it right or not, that's a different story. But this one is Itajami blocks.
Yeah. This one's so pretty. It's hard to see on the camera, but when you look inside, the white background isn't a flat white.
Yeah,
It's got a
little
little bit of
texture.
noise. CJ.
Yeah, you can
Which
just
I really like.
barely see it.
Yeah. But it's really like in person, it's even better. It's great on screen, but in person, it's even better. I really like that.
It really is, yeah. And then we have this guy.
All right. Yeah, that's the one I was talking about, the circles. So some of them are straight lines and some of them are little wiggles.
This one is called Pointel rings, which is funny because they aren't really rings, but
No, they're dots.
that's okay. Yeah, this one I would call rings, but
Right. It's always so fun to see a different polka dot. Polka dots are fun, but like a more interesting one. Excuse me.
this one I know the name of too. This is blurred lapis.
Excuse me.
So it's
I
a
really like
stripe,
this.
but it's not smooth or perfectly straight.
Right.
It reminds me just a little bit of like wood bark or something.
Right, like a birch bark.
Yeah, kind of.
Yeah.
But so this is a bright white with kind of a cerulean blue.
Yeah. You know what it really reminds me of is when you're trying to do your painting and you tape off your things and it never works right.
And it goes under the tape. Yeah. Yeah, that is kind of. And then this guy that I'm also loving.
Oh yeah, the clamshell one. So yeah, and it's got these arcs and clamshells made out of little cross stitches. It's really pretty. Come here,
Yeah,
Matt.
it's getting a little blurry there, but
Yeah.
there you go. You can start to see the X's. So this one is called Shaken Dots, which is a little funny to me because there's no dots on this one. They're little X's.
Yeah.
But this one is Shaken Dots. And here we go with our diamond. This one is a little bit lighter blue, which is nice to mix it up.
Yeah.
More of a medium as opposed to dark.
And it looks a little fuzzy online, but then when you get closer, you can see that the lines look almost like a zigzag stitch on your
That's
machine.
what I was just going to say. Yeah, it's like a tight zigzag stitch in a diamond formation.
Yeah, it's really cool.
Yeah, there you go. Now it's focusing.
Come here.
So yeah, that one's neat. And last but not least is the other Sashiko. Oh, I'm sorry, I didn't mention the name of this one. This one is Geometric Inception.
That's a lot.
Yeah. And then this is Sashiko.
And I think this one might be my favorite. And it's because it's got so many different blues and whites. It's so interesting. And it's really
it does.
Yeah.
I didn't even notice that. I thought, so it's a navy background, and then some of the stitches are white, but then there's also at least 3 other shades of blue.
Yeah, there's like a dusty blue, like all the other blue colors in the collection are in this one, which is real. I really like that.
I thought there was just a white and one blue, but no, there's quite a range.
Yeah. Does it have
Yeah,
dots on
that's
here? Oh,
fun.
my selvage doesn't have the color dots on it. It's just to look at.
No, they don't usually do that for some
You don't do
reason.
that?
I'm not sure why. But this one again is Sashiko. This one I can remember the name because this one makes perfect sense that it's
Yeah,
called Sashiko.
yeah, they're really pretty. That's
So
oh,
these are the prints in the collection, and again, like I said, it's available in yardage as always, and fat quarter, half yard, and full yard bundles. And then we have the brand new Indiglo quilt kit, which is based on Jen's or inspired by Jen's economy blocks that she did last Tuesday. They were just so good that we had to design a whole quilt around it.
oh yeah, absolutely. So come here,
I don't see
DJ,
any questions.
but
Just
not
lots
beyond.
of people saying they like them, which I agree. They
Right.
are pretty nice.
Yeah.
And I see a lot of fabric. Like, that's the thing. I don't get too excited by that much anymore, honestly, because I see a lot. But these, like, I had to have these. They got me excited, and I'm
I
glad that we
definitely
are.
noticed that at the trade show.
Mhm.
I'm definitely much more jaded. The first time I was at Quilt Market, it was just like, oh, like a kid in a candy store. And this time
Yeah,
I was walking around like,
yeah,
yeah, seen that, nothing new under the sun. There was
yeah,
very
pretty
little.
much.
I was excited. I'm broken. I'm broken now.
Yeah, that's one way to look at it. Yeah. But it's true, you know, after you've been in this world as deep as we are, you've just seen a lot of the same things over and over again.
Yeah. That's why when one of
Um,
these gets us excited, it's like, ooh, this
yeah,
is great.
and this honestly, it's not really new, but they've done such a good job doing it that it still is, you know, drawing me in and making me want it. So I thought that was even more interesting. Like, you're just doing blue and white, no big deal, but you've done it really well.
Oh, behind me is our sample of our Sylvia quilt from Thread Some Patterns, which is a wool applique. It just happens to be the right color, so I didn't take it down off of my magnet board. I don't worry, we will be selling this to you very soon.
Yes, there's a quilt along starting soon, isn't there?
Yes, in July,
Is
July
it
1st,
June or July?
July 1st.
Okay.
Yes,
So yes, stay
I
tuned
have
for
it written down in my paper notebook.
that. So stay tuned for
Yeah,
not quota,
Sylvia.
quota on the brain. This is Sylvia.
Yeah, quota. We have a quilt along going on right now. That's
That's
free.
true. If you have not already joined, you still can. It only started the 1st of May, so you're still, you know, not too far behind. I think you're just cutting, or have you gotten
We've already
to?
cut. We put together half square triangles and quarter square triangles last week. We will be doing half rectangle triangles and assembling the top tomorrow.
Ooh,
Yes,
so there
yes.
you go.
We should
So
be
if you
recording those videos any minute now.
so if you've already bought the kit for quota and you haven't signed up for the quilt along, go ahead or sew. I don't know. I think it's a sew along or quilt along. I don't know.
Quilt
But
along.
if you just
Yeah.
search quota, or
Yeah.
Yvette has actually just put up a link
Yep.
that you can click on here to join that. And so yeah, and then Sylvia will be coming soon. Stash Society, I know that Yvette put up a link for that as well. That's ongoing. You can sign up anytime. And then there is also a QR code up on the screen right now for the free pattern for the Indiglo quilt pattern. We will also have kits, but this particular QR code is to sign up to get the free pattern as soon as it's ready, which it is not yet, but it will be very soon.
All right. Thank you, everybody, for coming and watching.
Yeah, thanks for joining us. Thanks for letting us show off these pretty fabrics.
Yeah, my mother said that we should stitch on the X's and then weave in between, but I think the X's are kind of far apart. She's talking about it's a sashiko technique, kugiri sashi, maybe.
Yeah, I don't know, but yeah, I think those are floats. You'd be able to get your finger under them. I think they would get caught.
So Sharon asked if we'll be doing a kit in desert for the William Morris fabrics, and I think she means the Frank Lloyd Wright fabrics. Do we have a William Morris?
Probably, yeah. So if Sharon, if you're talking about the Frank Lloyd Wright fabrics, we don't at this point. We're so low on several of the prints that it would be difficult to make another kit with the desert right now. We sold out of the water, the Martin House quilt in water. I think 3 of the prints are gone now. So I am in touch with the manufacturer. I'm trying to find out if they are getting more. At the moment, it is completely sold out. Can't get any more at the moment, so I'm not sure. But I'm going to try to get more fabric so that we can make more kits. We do still have the Earth colorway. That one is still available, but the desert uses some of the same, or the desert coordinates with some of the same ones in the water quilt that have sold out. So I'm not sure, but I can get in touch with you because I did work on one for desert, and maybe, yeah, I'll get in touch with you, Sharon, or get in touch with me if I forget, because it's very likely that I might forget.
Is that the one that I brought to play with for rotation? The desert is the one that has the warms and a little bit of.
I think so.
Okay.
I think so. Yeah, it's the multicolor, but not the bright multicolor.
Right. Cool.
Yeah. And hopefully we'll be able to get more of that so we can offer more. Because I know we sold out before I could stop taking more orders, and we kept getting orders that I could not fulfill. And I apologize to anyone that ordered the water kit after we sold out, but I'm gonna try to get some more. Okay, right. I can't think of anything else. Kind of went all over the place tonight, but that's okay.
All right. Well, thank you, everybody. Thanks for coming, and we'll see you next week.
Yes, we'll see you next week. Thanks.
Bye.